Wait a minute.
Hey Dave,
Hey, Chris.
what's happening, man?
Oh, said actual. I get a notification now. It said actual recording is higher quality. So,
Oh, all right. It's a little
well,
different
we'll
than
see.
last time. I
Right.
think our listeners would not be surprised that this is a new format, and like we've done before, we recorded one a few days ago, um, but it ended up being just me, and that
Yeah,
was a
my
little
audio
awkward.
was not recorded at all, so it was just me going
The
and
good thing
Chris
about that
talking.
is we were at least both like I mean, I was on a trip, so I was out of state. We were at home. It was like nighttime. I think I'd gotten room service coming to the room, so it was a botched up job anyway.
Yeah.
But now, for the record, we are both at work, but both on lunch break.
Right. On
Just in
lunch
case
break.
anybody, yeah, lunch is my time. Um,
Right.
so
Right.
doing nothing wrong here, but this might be the first time that our audience has seen the professional Chris and Dave, which is probably a little different.
Yes, I have my.
But you got a little thing going on there
I
too since the
decided to
last
grow
time we talked.
this, so um, yeah, that's grown since last time we videoed. Um, and one thing that I was liking about the recording that we were attempting to do before was you were at the conference where they had the questionnaire about, what's your favorite arcade
Yeah,
game. Now, I said, is this the conference about where they asked about arcade game? And you said, yeah, it is. So you were hopeful. So now that that's over and you're back, what became of that?
you know, it was a bust. Um, it was purely just a theme, and no one could give me an answer as to why they needed to know what my favorite arcade game was. Um,
I think there's some maybe psychoanalytical something that has to do with if your favorite arcade game falls into one of these categories, they make some profile, they have some preconceived ideas about you.
he has violent tendencies.
Yep.
I am a fan of a lot of games that just shoot stuff, but
But it's better
I
to do
feel
it
like
in a
most other
video game
people.
than in real life.
Absolutely, I agree with that. 120%. But yeah, I think overall, nothing against the great state of Texas, but between not coming home with a video game and we mentioned in our little last tape about some unfortunate news about one of our potential guests that we've been trying to track down. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
oh yeah. I
Um,
I didn't want to go without saying. If you've been watching the show at all, you know that especially Chris has a somewhat unnatural um, affinity for trying to get baby Jessica onto our show, and it turns
is it
out
unnatural?
it turns out that apparently, and this I think happened maybe 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
uh, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Baby Jessica has been arrested for domestic violence. At least those are the charges. Now,
Allegations is what she said.
allegations.
Yeah.
Her verdict remains to be seen. So, uh,
That was sad. You know, the only really good thing that came out of that was some of the comments in Gen X form, and I think
true
the
Gen
very
X
first one,
form. The
I think
very
the very
first
first one
comment
that you
was
saw was really good.
right. It was Baby Jessica has been arrested for domestic violence, and then something else, and then the very first comment that had the most likes was Well, 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 which is
I
as
mean,
Gen X as you can possibly be. We're going to
ah,
take a bad
right.
situation about a bad situation and try to make it funny but worse.
And and they nailed it. I
I
mean,
mean,
that was the only good thing out of it. I
I
was so
wish I had come
disappointed.
up with that.
I was so disappointed when that news came across, and I found out via you and your brother
My
sending that
brother
to you.
messaged me,
And
and Chris's response was, "Tell your brother to mind his business and quit trying to ruin my life."
and I stand by that. It's all fake news and just it's total crap. But I was further disappointed by my trip to Texas when everyone I seemed to ask um, about that special guest that we could have, nobody seemed to know her. So I
And
was
she's from Texas. Like you'd figure that.
shit. That was within a couple of hours. I figured somebody here.
And I believe you said
No,
that you were asking people of appropriate age range.
I was. I really did try, but I don't know. I know, you know. Oh well, we'll keep trying. I see, buddy. You're on deck. Stay out of trouble. Get back to us as soon as you can, and we'll move on. But we should probably get to why are we doing this today?
So we're doing this because just with schedules and all kinds of stuff, we haven't had the opportunity to get together to do any episodes. Typically, we do 3 to 4 episodes at a time. So we haven't had that chance. It's been a couple of months since we've been able to get together. So
Yeah.
we just wanted to kind of fill in the gap and say, hey, we're still around. We're we may be getting together here in the next week to record a few. So we just wanted to kind of let all 78 subscribers know that we're here and we're not going anywhere. Just from time to time, there may be a little lapse because of schedules and travel and work and stuff like that.
All kinds of life stuff. But yeah, I think I know we're talking about maybe here in the next week or so getting together to do a few more, and lots of stuff to still talk about. Lots of really good stories that have
Yep.
not yet been explored and told. So I'm
Right.
super excited. But
I
yeah,
foresee that sometime by maybe fall, probably before the end of the year. I know that seems like a long way, but before the end of the year, I believe that we will have our first guest when we talk
looking
about a
forward to that.
particular road trip that we took, which is connected to another series of events that over a couple year period. So
Yeah,
apparently, my wife is trying to
I'm looking
FaceTime me right
forward
now, so
to.
I don't know that that's going to
I'm,
work.
I'm, I just got I was getting a message with me. I just got a. I'm looking for not this yet. I am looking forward to having a guest because I I'd like to try our hand at interviewing somebody. I think that's going to be fun to have someone that we can kind of ask questions about and see. Um, yeah, I'm ready to open up the platform as with doing this. And I know we wanted to keep this short today. Number one, because we don't know if the technology is going to work. Hopefully it does, and we can get something posted. But I'm super excited to have some guests and get into a few of those stories, but also have a chance to kind of feel like we're also kind of interviewing and getting somebody else's
Yeah, and
perspective
so
of our memories.
in addition to that story or those series of stories, having a guest on, there were some other people involved in this series of events that don't live here. They live elsewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
we've essentially had no contact with them in, what would that be, 91, like
It's
35
like
years.
35 years.
So, other than
Yeah,
I think I did reach out
it's been
maybe a
amazing.
little over a year ago and said, hey, you know, because we've been friends on Facebook for a long time, but like, you know, I got lots of friends on Facebook and I talk to like four, you know, but
That's,
anyway,
yeah.
and asked if they
So
would be willing
I
to
hear hope.
put in some input on their perspective on these stories. And the two that I am friends with said that they would. So we'll see if they're still willing.
Cool that they remember it as well.
And
So
you know, that's
hopefully,
something I never
I
asked.
guess
I
next time
never
one of them.
got their perspective
Ah.
on stuff. All I had was, mine and yours and Harmon's and Phillips a
Because
little
I have
bit.
no idea if, if anybody got in
Oh yeah,
trouble,
yeah.
especially after the first time they met. Um, I mean, we kind of ducked out of that whole conversation, but
I think that was
it'd
the
be cool to
second.
know what happened.
That was when they came back. That wasn't the first year. The first year was very.
Oh, you know what? All right. That would make more sense because I
Everybody
was
was a
more
little more careful. It's
comfortable.
like, oh yeah, we met
I
these guys
see.
last year,
I'm
so
I'm
they're on the
totally
up
ready
and
to get
up.
that perspective, and that's funny. Funny, funny. Well, looking forward to that. Um, cool. Looking forward to getting
Yes,
together soon
yes,
too. And you grew hair. I cut some hair off.
yeah. Oh, there's a spot on my
Oh,
screen. I was like, oh, I got something on me, but no, just just dust on my screen.
just cool. All right. Well, I think we've got stuff to get back to.
Yep,
So stay tuned. Don't give up on us. We just need a little break, and we're gonna get back together soon. I have hope that you talked to people over a year ago, and we're just not going to have them on. That means that there's still time for certain people that we'd like
and
to do.
if this
Um,
format works, then perhaps not only could they offer a written input, they might want to do a video input to
absolutely.
give us their perspective.
Jeff, who, let's
I feel like that would be the
keep in mind
pinnacle
what I'm
of
saying.
our podcasting life would be.
I next level. I think it would kick off. Cool. All right, man. Good to see you.
Yep,
Good to see everyone, and be soon. And we will be back with a new episode of Rated
that's
Gen-Xers
right. That's
very,
right.
very
I'll go
soon.
ahead and post this up in the next day or so after I get it edited, and hopefully I can add the baby Jessica story where appropriate, and we'll go from there.
Cool. All right.
All right.
See y'all soon.